It looks like we've got our first glimpse of Navi, and could this be AMD's upcoming Raven Ridge APUs for desktop? Stay tuned. Welcome back to GamerMeld. I'd like to start out with a PSA. Don't hype this up too much. We know what can happen when new GPU architecture is a little overhyped, so let's definitely take this as the tiny story it is. Well, everyone, you know that new GPU architecture we've heard a little about? You know, the one that's coming at an incredible 7nm transistor size? The one that's set to bring multi-chip modules like Ryzen to their GPU line so they can scale extremely easily? Kind of like where Nvidia sees their GPUs going? Yeah, well, it's been spotted. Kind of. Originally found by a user at the Beyond 3D forums and reported by Computer Base, the upcoming architecture has seemingly been spotted in some old Linux driver code from AMD. For those who may not have known, AMD's Vega GPU architecture was listed as GFX 9. And in this snippet of code, you can see we've got what we would assume to be the next architectural jump, the GFX 10. What's funny is that it wasn't named Navi like it normally would. Instead, it was called, quote, super secret. Some outlets seem to think it's not named the future architecture because AMD doesn't want to bring hype. But honestly, I'd just say it looks to be more of a joke. Who knows really? What's crazy is that this particular Linux code has been out since July, and it was just recently found later last week. Obviously it isn't much, but it at least shows us AMD has been working on Navi for quite some time. As of right now, WCCF Tech is calling a late 2018 launch. Of course, things can change, or it may not be accurate at all. Either way, Navi is almost certainly to be an exciting GPU. Just don't get too excited too soon. Next up keeps us on the topic of AMD. Now, I'm not going to get very deep into this story, and I haven't discussed it already because it's almost certainly untrue. Don't get me wrong though, I wish it were true. Either way, there was a pretty insane AMD APU spotted on the SciSoft database last week. The biggest part was the GPU featuring 28 compute units. That's a good bit more than the RX 560 and getting up to the 32 compute units of the RX 570. The clock speed was listed at 555 MHz, and if it can get just a little bit higher, seeing as this is just an engineering sample, we could be looking at computational power similar to that of the full-blown RX 560. That may not sound all that impressive, but considering we're talking about an integrated GPU, that's huge news. This led many outlets to think it's the upcoming desktop APUs. Unfortunately, it appears the database entry is gone, and the links just lead to an error. This leads me to believe that there was something wrong, or perhaps it just wasn't intended to be seen or thought of this way. It could really be anything at this point, so while it's very interesting, don't get your hopes too high. So while that ends the news for today, what did you think of it? Does AMD have a shot against Volta, or are you just waiting for desktop APUs? Let me know down in the comments below. And before you go, don't forget to check out the GamerMeld Discord server, where you can join your fellow tech heads to talk all things PC hardware. Check that out in the description. That does it for now. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe by clicking on the round icon in the middle. You can check out the most recent video and suggested video to the left. Thanks so much for coming, and as always, have a great day.